Houston was a city and a team that had the right components of issues with the cap.
It was, at that time, the largest trade that ever been done in the NBA. Yeah, I think it was 13 players involved, which was, it takes a lot of time just to trade one player for another today, and it took forever to do this one.
All of a sudden, I hear Houston. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. I was jumping up and down forever, man, and they told me I got traded to Houston, man. I was so excited.
Houston at the time, you had 3, top 50 guys. He wouldn't be thrown into the fire. I mean, you could learn from Akeem Olajuwon, a Charles Barkley, a Scottie Pippen at the time.
Well, Scottie got traded before I got there. Barkley got hurt. Akeem was, in and out. He got injured.
He's the only one left. So he ended up learning a lot, but not how we planned the learning. He learned by doing and performing. And, he can rise to any occasion.
Good grief. Steve Francis taking it. Oh, how did he make that? Steal by Stevie Francis. Look out. Oh, Stevie Francis.
He wasn't overwhelmed with the league. He felt like he belonged right away, and that's a big challenge to most guys coming in.
Francis says, this is the way you do it. Oh, what a shot. I don't believe it.
He felt comfortable pretty much right away.
And Francis flies through the air. Oh,
Gary Payton's on a fast break. So he's going for a layup. I said, give me that. So Gary Payton's like, oh, this little young want to talk trash.
now they are really yakking. Look at it.
We were face to face, and I'm like, damn, this is Gary Payton right here. This is my rookie year.
Guys really came at him a lot. And so, he just wouldn't back down.
Steve's play quickly repaired his image, but the fans in Vancouver weren't so forgiving.
Oh, my goodness.
In Vancouver, a very hostile crowd awaiting Steve Francis here this evening.
I know people outside the arena could hear it. It just rang out.
Guys were throwing things from the rafters onto the court.
People were throwing batteries, tomatoes.
It was really a hostile crowd out there.
All rejection inside.
Well, that'll go down as a highlight for Grizzlies fans tonight.
Francis just throws it up. Oh, what an athletic play by Steve Francis.
I go out there, man. I'm making shots. I'm throwing the ball up the backboard through the lane, dunking it, and I'm having a great game, and we win.
Francis crossover, elevates, sticks the jumper.
Steve averaged 18 points and nearly 7 assists per game in his rookie year and formed a bond with head coach Rudy Tomjanovich.
On the first day of that training camp, he said, hey, stay ball. I'm just going to give you the ball and let you go. And from that day, man, I just went.
In Steve's second season, the Rockets won 45 games, an 11-game improvement over his rookie campaign. But Steve's third year would prove disastrous.
Every other day, I'm like, damn, I'm dizzy. So I go to team training. I'm like, man, I need to see a doctor. Something's wrong.
It's like his head pounding, seeing 2 and 3 people.
His eyes were bloodshot red. He was dizzy. He couldn't really, get his vision together.
I was scared, man. There were times when I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
And we flew down to Houston to try to find out what was going on. So, he got tests, went to different doctors, and couldn't find no answer.
The season is still going on, and I'm playing games. On game day, I'm going to the doctor.
Francis having some more migraine headaches today, but he's going to try to go tonight.
Oh, what a slam from Stevie Franchise.
He played so many times when we didn't think he would. And one night he made, I think, 38 points. And when I didn't think he could get off the table, he was hurting so bad.
Steve was eventually diagnosed with an inner ear disorder that could be treated with medication and a proper diet.
I lost like 35% of my hearing in my right ear. So when my coaches yell at me in my right ear, when my coach is yelling, I always go like this. When they tell me to pass the ball, I always give them my right ear, so I have to pass the ball. They put me on medication, and I just slowly started to feel better as I changed my diet, and it kind of changed some of the things that I did in my lifestyle.
Between the headaches and a foot injury, Steve missed 25 games in 2002. The Rockets missed the playoffs for the third straight year. They sent Steve to represent them in the draft lottery.
The NBA draft lottery has come down to 3 teams.
He told me when he left here, he said, we're going to get first. We're going to get first.
I was like, man, we're going to get Yao.
The Houston Rockets.
Houston had its man, and the Rockets stormed into the 2003 season.
Yao turned and frees himself. Top for good by Yao.
We made major improvements. I thought Rudy did a great job of, coordinating Yao into the offense. And, for myself, I thought that was one of my best seasons that I had.
The Rockets won 43 games, and Steve made his second All-Star team. But in the offseason, he got a rude awakening.
Not to say that I didn't like Van Gundy. It was just the way that he coached was, not towards my game.
I think we all bumped heads with Jeff in terms of being serious.
I'm not sure necessarily that they wouldn't have been better served with more serious guys surrounding them from the time they came into the NBA.
Beyond the Glory on FSN is brought to you by Burger King. Have it your way.
We're all in agreement that the best thing for me personally is to take a leave of absence.
After the 2003 season, Rockets coach Rudy Tomjanovich stepped down. He was replaced by Jeff Van Gundy.
Van Gundy's style was just different than Rudy's. Rudy was a more open court kind of guy.
Good job, baby. I love that.
Let us pretty much do what we want. We were all into the isolation, and Van Gundy's a defensive coach.
Van Gundy's teams were known for a tough defensive mentality and a half-court grinded-out offensive style.
He was very, very strict as far as the way that he coached. The things that he wanted things done his way. If it wasn't his way, you would know about that.
The team ran more 5-man plays and try to develop and get Yao going.
This is Francis, the jump pass, trying to get Yao Ming a little more involved.
The way you have the best chance to win a championship is to be a balanced team.
What Steve was used to, where we ran plays from the wing, isolations, and him getting the ball, getting out on a break, and just making things happen.
Steve was always going to be a scoring mentality point guard, highly emotional. What I wanted him to do better was channel his emotions, and secondly, I wanted him to do more on less dribbles.
He's a dribbler. He's an off-the-dribble kind of guy. Great jump shooter off the dribble. He's great going to the hole off the dribble. He makes great passes off the dribble. It's his game. And sometimes in certain systems, you feel like you can't do the things you want to do.
Francis is not really a setup guy. He's a scorer.
I really wasn't given a chance to really do what I wanted to do. I wasn't given a chance to come down and shoot threes like I do. I wasn't given a chance to post up like I normally do. So there were a lot of things that were taken away from my game.
He was having his best year. He was having more of an impact on winning in that year than he had ever had.
The way that he coached was, not towards my game. There's no way that you go from making an all-star team at 21 points to 16 points unless you're like missing some fingers or something.
They were clashing heads a little bit. Personally, I thought he needed a little bit of that, Everybody needs a little bit of discipline.
Van Gundy was particularly troubled by Steve's close relationship with teammate Coutinho Mobley.
From the first day I got traded from Vancouver, me and Cat have been, to this day, man, we've been tight. Our relationship is like a brother relationship, man. Whatever I got, he has, and vice versa.
Mobley looking for Francis underneath.
They're both individually great guys, and I think they're better suited to be apart.
Look at the exuberance of Francis and Mobley.
I felt they were both so distracted, both of them individually from a focus standpoint, that probably a more serious guy for each one would have helped them focus on what they were trying to accomplish basketball-wise.
Sometimes them being